All right, let's be real. Houseplants are great until they start making your life miserable. You know what I'm talking about. The ones that drop leaves like confetti, attract every pest in town, or just straight up refuse to grow no matter how much love you give them. Yeah, we've all been there. But don't worry, I talked to a botanist, and they gave me the inside scoop on 7 houseplants that are more trouble than they're worth. So, if you're thinking about adding a new plant to your space, you might want to avoid these. Trust me, your sanity will thank you. Let's get into it. Bonsai trees. Beautiful, right? Tiny, elegant, like a little piece of nature in your living room. Yeah? Until you realize this thing requires the patience of a monk and the skills of a master gardener just to stay alive. One missed watering, crispy leaves, too much water, root rot, wrong sunlight, game over. They need the perfect balance of humidity, light, and pruning. Otherwise, they just sit there looking sad. Or worse, they die and mock you in the process. And let's talk about pruning. You don't just snip away randomly. Nope. You gotta train the branches like you're sculpting a tiny tree masterpiece. It's basically a full-time job for a plant that doesn't even give you flowers or fruit. Just stress. So unless you really enjoy high-maintenance plants, and I mean, really, just admire bonsais from afar. They belong in expert hands, not on your coffee table where they're slowly plotting their own demise. Look at this. Caladiums are straight up gorgeous. Like, they don't even look real. Yeah, well, they also don't act real. Because one day they're thriving. Next thing you know, poof, they disappear like a magician's trick. Yep, these guys go dormant for months at a time. And if you don't know that, you're gonna think you killed it. Spoiler, you probably didn't, but good luck reviving it. And watering? Oh man, too much it rots, too little it dries up. Finding that sweet spot? Almost impossible. They also hate dry air. And if you don't have a humidifier running 24/7, be prepared for sad, crispy leaves. Oh, and light? They want bright, indirect light. But not too much, or they'll fade. Not too little, or they'll get leggy. Basically, they're divas. Bottom line? Unless you love a high-maintenance, seasonal disappearing act, just leave caladiums to the pros. Honestly, they're better off in a warm, shady garden where Mother Nature handles them, not in your living room. Ah, succulents. The indestructible houseplant. Low maintenance, right? Just a little water and sunlight? Yeah, no. People think succulents are the easiest plants ever, but somehow they still manage to kill them. And if that's you, don't worry, you're not alone. First off, if you don't have direct sunlight, they'll start getting all weird and leggy, stretching out like they're trying to escape. Then there's watering. Too much, root rot, too little. They dry up into sad little plant corpses, and good luck guessing which one it is in time to fix it. Oh, and that cute ceramic pot with no drainage hole? Yeah, that's basically a death trap. These things need fast-draining soil, or they'll drown. And let's be real. Most people buy succulents, forget about them, then wonder why they're suddenly mush or dust. Truth is, succulents aren't really houseplants. They belong outside, soaking up tons of sun, not struggling in your apartment. So, unless you live somewhere bright and dry, or you're ready to baby these things, just skip the succulents. Look, we've all seen it. Stick some toothpicks in an avocado pit, put it in water, and boom. You're growing your own avocado tree. Easy, right? Except it's not easy. And unless you live in the perfect climate, this thing is going to make you miserable. First problem, these guys grow huge. And indoors? They turn into these sad, leggy sticks, reaching for light that isn't there. Second problem, they're super picky about humidity and temperature. If your house isn't like a tropical paradise, they'll drop leaves left and right. And let's be real, if you're growing one for avocados, forget about it. These take like 10 years to fruit if the conditions are perfect. Spoiler, indoors is not perfect. Honestly, you're better off just buying avocados. Less stress, no heartbreak. Unless you have a greenhouse or live somewhere warm year-round, This fun little project is just going to leave you disappointed. Want to try it for fun? Sure, go for it. But don't expect to be making homegrown guacamole anytime soon. Carnivorous plants are so cool. They eat bugs. They look like something from an alien planet. What's not to love? Well, let me tell you, these little guys are way harder to keep alive than you think. First off, they don't just eat bugs. They still need a ton of sunlight, special soil, and, get this, distilled water only. Tap water? Yeah, that'll kill them. Oh, and if your house isn't humid enough, they'll dry up and die faster than they can catch a fly. Also, don't think you can just poke their traps for fun. Every time they snap shut, it drains energy. Do it too much? Bye-bye plant. And guess what? Even if you take perfect care of them, they still go dormant for months, which, to most people, just looks like they're dying. So now you're stuck wondering, did I kill it? Or is it just sleeping? And trust me, you won't know until it's too late. Look, these plants are amazing, but they belong in the wild, not struggling on your windowsill. Unless you want to set up a full-on swamp in your house and buy live bugs to feed them, maybe stick to something less dramatic. Philodendrons are everywhere. Instagram, plant stores, your friend's house. They look easy, right? Yeah, until they start growing out of control, turning your home into a jungle you didn't sign up for. These guys grow fast. One day, it's a cute little plant. Next thing you know, it's taking over your shelves, your walls, your life. And pruning? Good luck. If you don't keep up with it, it turns into a tangled mess. Oh, and watering is tricky. Too much? Root rot. Too little? Crispy, sad leaves. Finding the sweet spot is basically a guessing game. Got pets? Bad news, philodendrons are toxic. So, unless you want to keep it way out of reach, maybe skip this one. I'm not saying they're bad plants, but if you're not ready for the commitment, they will take over. Unless you want to fight an ever-growing vine monster, maybe pick something a little less needy. Ah, the classic Christmas plant. You see these everywhere in December, and they look amazing. But try keeping one alive past the holidays? Yeah, good luck with that. First off, these guys are divas. Too much water. Dead. Too little. Dead. Look at them the wrong way. Poof! Leaves everywhere. They need just the right amount of light. Too much sun? Crispy leaves? Not enough? They drop faster than bad New Year's resolutions. And if you do keep it alive, getting it to turn red again next year? Forget about it. That takes months of total darkness at night. Who has time for that? Oh, and they're toxic to pets. So, if you've got a cat that likes to snack on leaves, this plant is a big nope. Honestly, just enjoy them for the season, then let them go. They're basically the Christmas lights of the plant world, temporary and a pain to deal with. Want to keep a plant alive all year? Trust me, pick something less dramatic. So there you have it, 7 houseplants that seem like a good idea but will probably drive you nuts. Look, if you love a challenge, go for it. But if you just want a chill houseplant, maybe pick something less high maintenance. What's the trickiest plant you've ever tried growing? Let me know in the comments, especially if it didn't make the list. And hey, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, so you don't end up with a house full of struggling plants. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some plants to not buy.